Hello Aries, and welcome back to my channel. For those of you who have been here before, for those of you who haven't been here before, my channel is Inspiring Life Changes. My name's Colette. I'm an intuitive tarot reader of 30 years experience or over, and this is a reading today for Aries, Sun, Moon, Venus, Rising and Cusp Aries. If you don't know where those placements are, you may want to check it out. In the description box down below, there will be a free natal link for you to do so. This is a general read, so it's not going to resonate with all of you Aries out there. If you don't feel as though this message is making sense to you, or it's not your story, you may want to check out those other signs, as I was saying, your moon sign, your rising sign and your Venus sign as well, to see if there is more information or those other signs make more sense to you. So I haven't been here for a while. I feel as though I haven't been here doing your reading, Aries. It seems to be ages since I got round to actually doing an Aries reading. So I'm going to just jump straight in and say the first card that we have here, Aries, is the Five of Fire, and that looks a bit dark there. I might just turn that light a bit and see if I can get a little bit more brightness on that. There we go, that's slightly better, I think. Five of Fire is looking to me today like she's kind of saying, here we go again. That's the kind of feeling I'm getting from this card today, is here we go again. I should have maybe said previously to actually starting this reading that the cards are set out in 3 sets of 3. So the top 3 is the past, the middle 3 is the present, and the last 3 is your future. So your past has created your present, which is now creating the future, which is yet to be, yet to come. So, and it doesn't mean that it's just kind of past goes straight into your future, because it doesn't always work like that. Your past can kind of be from many years back. It can be your childhood that's kind of influencing you today, now, and you're kind of having to deal with stuff that you maybe hadn't remembered, or had completely not even seen as relevant at the time, but it's kind of come back, and that can happen quite a lot, and it is tending to happen a lot at this moment in 2020. I feel it's a year for kind of clearing out and cleansing stuff and moving forward. But until we do move forward, or can move forward, we have to kind of get rid of some of the old experiences, the past, that we kind of hold on to. So this card for me today is saying that there has been a situation where you were feeling that way of like, here we go again. Something kind of made you feel in that energy of, not again. Do I really have to go through this again? Do I really have to experience this again? And it's kind of made you have to look at your self-doubts, your things that hold you back, why you feel insecure maybe, or not good enough, or but you can't achieve, that you can't be successful. It's that kind of energy, even though it's upright. So the fives always are about adversity. They work through adversity. So it's like challenge, it's after the challenge of the 4, we get the adversity. So it's kind of saying, for me, it's like, if you can work through this energy, then the success will be even greater. But it's a difficult energy, because it is very much about your beliefs about yourself. The 5 of fire, 5 of wands, or fire, whichever you prefer to call it. It is about how you believe about yourself. It's how you perceive yourself, how much you think you're worth. And it is also to do with creativity as well, because it is fire. So it is also about how much you like when you want to start a new project, or bring something new into your life. The 5 often arises at a time when you're feeling like, you know, the project may have already started, and then you get to the kind of point where you think, can I actually achieve this? Can I succeed in this? Is it possible for me to do this? So it can be a time where we also kind of say, right, you know, I'm not going to carry on with this. So it can be quite a shaky period is what I'm kind of feeling here. It can be like a shaky period in our lives. That energy that kind of shakes things up in a way, rattles us, gives us a kind of feeling of uneasiness. So the next card that's come out for you here, Aries, is the Moon energy, which is interesting because this being all about self-doubt, the Moon kind of highlights that energy as well, because it's about what's hidden, it's about what we're not seeing. But for me, when the Moon is upright, it's kind of very clearly showing your insecurities. It's the opposite for me. If it was in reverse, I would be saying that this is much more the dark Moon, the hidden secrets, the things not being revealed. But here I feel as though this is saying that this was very much kind of you seeing your own insecurities and confusion about something, and really kind of having it highlighted for you. And you may not have wanted to have actually dealt with it or done anything about it. You may have just wanted to stay in this energy rather than having to actually look at your, again, I feel kind of these insecurities, the things that hold you back, the things that stop you from being successful here, Aries. The things that you may even, like I was saying, keep hidden from yourself. It was like they were on full show. I don't know if it was for everybody, but they were definitely on full show to you. You were kind of very aware of these emotional aspects of your personality and your character, shall we say. Like seeing the flaws is what I'm getting here, like seeing your own very personal flaws that other people may not have been quite so aware of, but you were, Aries. It was kind of very, and that's kind of what I'm seeing here as well with these kind of all these lights. It's like it was all being lit up for you. That's how I'm seeing each of these today, was this kind of situation of it all being on show out there. Because I often see the 8 of fire, again, it's another creative energy as well. So this could have a lot to do with your self-esteem and your success in a project and not feeling as though you were capable. But there is a transformation within this card as well, I feel. If you look here with all these bamboo canes in the background, I kind of see them as being, again, like this veil here. You know, she's got this veil and she's kind of lifting the veil on something. That's how I'm seeing this here. It's kind of like the veil was lifted and this is everything that became exposed to you, that you couldn't hide from anymore. You had to really look at all these situations. Because she herself on this panda as well, she has this fan in front of her face. And I see this as a kind of energy of you coming out of hiding. Coming out of hiding from all of this. You having to face it. in order to be able to change it, transform it, do something about it. Because the next card that we have here in your present is the card of strength, which is the balancing up of the masculine and the feminine energies for me, the knowing when to, and it is upright as well, so it is in a good position. And it's another 8 as well, because you've got this 8 here as well, and 8 is all about change or fate, fated situations. Strength card being a major arcana as well. This was a kind of deeper energy, a deeper transformation within you, which I feel has something to do with this card here as well. For me, the strength card, when it's upright, is all about maturity. It's all about growing up. It's all about balancing up those masculine and feminine sides of our nature in order to know when's the best time to respond in a more kind of gentler fashion, or a more kind of outward fashion, a more aggressive side. Because the line for me is very much that masculine, aggressive kind of like can be overreactive. And the female energy here is kind of calming it down and kind of keeping it under control. So there could have been as well, Aries, there could have been somebody who helped you with this situation. There could have been somebody who gave you support in order to be able to do this, to kind of look into this dynamic of yourself. Aries being often very headstrong, which is this energy here, and very kind of, can be very immature energy as well, in the sense of doesn't like consequences are kind of put to one side. There can also be a very strong protective energy about this as well. So you may also have felt that you needed to protect this energy here as well, that you were protecting yourself over something by keeping yourself hidden, I feel. But it's a card of maturity in the sense that when we kind of learn how to control our emotions, which for me is really what this card is about, the strength card. When we learn how to control those emotions and balance those emotions up, we can kind of transform it to being able to not be affected by what goes on around us in the outside world quite so much. It's like having control enough of our inner strength, our emotions really, so that we don't respond like children, whereas, you know, we stamp our feet and demand that we get our own way, that kind of energy. As we mature, we learn that that's, you know, that is childish, that is a very immature way to respond to the world and the outside situations that we have to go through in life. So there may well have been a situation here, Aries, that has called for you to be able to act in a maturer fashion. In order to keep the balance within yourself as well, in order to stop things from getting out of hand within your own energy. Because in the center we have the Hangman, and the center card for me is always about energy coming in and going out. It's like the very heart of the reading and the heart of the energy. And the Hangman here is in reverse. And he's also right below the moon energy as well here, which I'm seeing as kind of being very similar in a way. With this circle, the moon almost like putting yourself in the spotlight, or having to put yourself in the spotlight in order to, again, go deeper into how you view the world. Because the Hangman is about getting a new sense of perspective on something, but it is in reverse. So I am going to say that there has been a reluctance, and this is quite possibly the energy that you're in at this time, because it's in reverse and it's in your very heart of your reading. It's your present energy. So there may be a feeling that you have been kind of forced into letting go of something that you didn't want to let go of, maybe. Because in order to be able to move forward, in order to come down from this hook that he's hooked himself up by there, we have to let go. And when it's in reverse, there is a strong feeling of not wanting to let something go. There's a strong feeling of still hanging on to something emotionally, or a way of looking at the world, a way of seeing things, hanging on to your own ideas, your own perception, of not wanting to change. Because he does often remind me of this kind of butterfly or a moth that does transform. But again, it's in reverse. So there is this feeling of, like, you know, a difficult time. It's like a difficult feeling. That this is hard. This is kind of hard work. This is something I don't want to be doing. This is something that I'm really not happy with. Don't want to be in this position. It can be a feeling like you've been in a sense of the doldrums, like your life hasn't changed, nothing's moved forward. You're kind of living the same thing over and over again, feeling as though you're just hanging in limbo. And particularly when it's up the wrong way or in reverse, there is this sense of it taking a long, long time in order to get to that point of being able to come back down and see, or in order, for many ways, for this transformation as well to take place. Which is what I feel this is about here. So in some ways, it's like the universe says, right, okay, like, you're not doing this willingly. You're not open to moving or changing your perception here, or allowing yourself to see somebody else's point of view as well, possibly. But you're for me, the Hangman is being very stuck in a way of thinking and looking at things, and not wanting to be open to other people's ideas. Or maybe even not wanting to be open to looking at your own possibly limited way of looking at something, and needing to take a back step here as well. Because what comes after this is the messenger of air. So this is saying to me that there is now this feeling that you are beginning, we'll just say beginning to have a new way of understanding. It's like you're just opening your eyes here. You're just kind of getting to that point of, that's how I always see this card, the Messenger of Air. It's like that moment of coming back round from a deep slumber, which is kind of how I'm seeing this card, this deep slumber that you feel that you've been in for some time here, Aries. It's coming out of this, yeah. Possibly an enforced perception that you've had. Possibly this is you kind of releasing your maybe realizing that the views that you had actually were not your own views as well. How you was looking at something was completely what's the word I'm looking here? Completely enforced is the word that keeps coming up. Kind of enforced, like you have to do things in a certain way in order to be able to achieve certain results, but it wasn't working. You kept, in some way, kept kind of repeating the same thing. That's what I'm getting from this card here, with this kind of energy of, oh, here we go again, not again, do I have to? Do I have to? I'm back here again. So I feel as though this energy here is kind of breaking free from that. Breaking free from that mindset, from that way of seeing things or understanding things, that level of perception. It's like you've kind of raised your level of perception here, is what I'm feeling from this Aries. Yeah, this sense of being much more in tune with your own energy, with what works for you rather than what works for everybody else. Because the energy that we have moving in for you in your future is this beautiful star energy here. Again, another 8. If you put the 1 and the 7 together, you get another 8. So that's 3 8s that you've got here, which is a kind of sense of destiny. And the star is a sense of destiny. There is a healing process within the star as well, because it is this kind of realization, which is what I'm feeling here, this realization of you finally waking up to your destiny, to you, to who you want to be or should be or could be. Star card relates to Aquarius energy. And Aquarius energy is very humanitarian energy. It's very much about finding the individual, but realizing that you as an individual are part of something much bigger, that you're connected to everything else, and that there is no separation here. And it's interesting because the veil today around her head is kind of calling out to me here. And there's a star just there as well on her arm. But I'm kind of seeing this as though it's being dropped. Like this veil here from this moon is being dropped down. as a reminder maybe that this is, everything is out there for you. There's much bigger, like everything is bigger. What I'm kind of picking up here is that everything is connected, that you're not isolated, you're not disconnected from everything, which is maybe how you've been feeling as well. And this kind of energy of having to go it alone somehow, or very much this sense of here we go again. Like repeating that pattern. Because you've been repeating that pattern, you keep feeling as though you're doing something wrong, or again going back to this card of like not feeling as though you deserve, or not being successful because you don't feel as though you deserve to be successful, Aries. There's something to do with this vow and this kind of here from this moon, like I was saying, being dropped down. And I don't feel as though it's anything to do with kind of closing things off. It's not like that. It's more to do with kind of information maybe coming through. Of you realising that there is this much bigger story. There's a much bigger story, that everything is interconnected, and maybe that's something that you're learning through this energy here as well, this hangman, the connection with everything. Because here you are kind of waking up with this, maybe that is the knowledge. The messenger of air, this kind of like you've received this understanding, and this is the kind of energy that you're moving into, that you're creating for yourself in this future that is still evolving or still being created by you. The star, like I was saying, Aquarian energy, it's ruled by Uranus, which is the planet of change. Sudden, fast thinking, fast moving. And this pointed star as well today, I'm seeing this as like lots of ideas coming in. Lots of kind of creative thought process. A lot of you kind of maybe suddenly, like almost like illumination. This awakening to something big. Is how I'm feeling that. But we have after this the Emperor energy here, and the Emperor energy is in reverse, and I'm feeling this as you kind of going up against everything that's kind of traditional, everything that's kind of traditional, very lacking in insight and thought, and like everything is very much I'm also seeing it as family for some reason today as well. I'm getting this as a family, like generational energy for some reason. And almost like you going up against this energy here with your new insight and your new understanding, and how you now realize like things have been opened to you, your mind has been opened. Is how I'm seeing that star energy. But when that happens, it's like you are going to have to deal with all of this. And this is that very traditional, very set in stone type of energy, shall we say. The Emperor energy for me today, he is coming through as this don't don't upset the apple cart somehow, don't rock the boat, don't be stupid. That kind of energy, like, you know, it's like somebody who's very stuck in their ideas, and kind of the total opposite of how you are now. They're very stuck, traditionally stuck. And that word keeps coming through, traditionally, tradition. Somebody who's very, and this could also be the bigger outside world as well, that you're going to have to kind of face and deal with, Aries. Because this energy is very kind of ancient, is what I'm getting here. An ancient energy, in the sense of, again, just traditional. I don't know why that keeps coming through, but that is what I keep getting. Traditional, ancient, traditional, power. But I'm also getting a sense, because it's in reverse, it's like an energy that could also be quite, I wouldn't say spiteful, it's not spiteful, but that it could be an energy that could be quite like with this sword here, it could be quite severe in the way that it responds. And for some, I feel as though it is family. For some of you, I feel as though this is family, traditional, maybe being cut off. And maybe that's also what this is about here. Maybe there was also this sense of not fitting into something. Because I do often see this as the kind of all dressed up with nowhere to go. Like, it's my party energy. So maybe that has got something to do with that energy there as well. That not fitting in. Of literally kind of wanting a different lifestyle, you know, wanting to be like, you know, wanting to have wings and be able to fly, and just kind of like, you know, that creative fantasy idea of being different. Not literally that that's what you wanted to do, but, you know, you didn't want to be a part of this anymore. You'd had enough of this. Very staid, very old-fashioned, very this is how it's done. Don't argue, don't try and change things, don't try and bring anything new in. That's the energy that I'm picking up from that. But you actually have the Six of Fire here as your final possible outcome, because nothing is ever set in stone, so you do have free will. You can change the future as you see things unfolding. And the Six of Fire is usually the Six of Wands, representing victory or a feeling of victory, but it's in reverse. So this feels to me as though this is kind of deflating energy. A sense of you not being listened to, a sense of you not being taken seriously, maybe. And I do feel it's got something to do with this Emperor energy here. that this energy kind of keeps bringing you down. It just brings you down. And maybe there is this sense of a battle that's going on as well. You have to battle to be heard or understood here, Aries. But there is also two other cards that came out with this, and I wouldn't normally take them, but today for some reason I felt it was right, kind of told to take these. They both have come out in reverse, but they're both major arcana cards, big major arcana cards as well, because interestingly the World is the last card and the Fool is the very next step of that journey. So it's like, the World is an ending. It's kind of ending a cycle. It's when things close out. But just like the Hangman energy here in reverse is taking a long time, I feel it's the same thing, because also this here for me is representing this symbol behind here, and this is where the keyhole is as well. Down here, this is like the key to unlocking your new world, your new experience, your new journey, which is what the Fool card is as well. The Fool is kind of starting out that new journey. And kind of shifting that energy. Because if you look at the Fool card there, you can see very dimly there's kind of an archway around this energy here, and I always see archways as being kind of a step into the unknown, into a new beginning. And the Fool is all about trusting. It's all about trusting your instincts. It's about trusting where you're going to be led. It's about trusting the bigger picture, the universe itself that has your best interests at heart. But again, I'm feeling that at this time you're not, because of this energy as well, because you've been kind of deflated here. I feel as though you're still wanting this new world, you're still wanting this new beginning, you're still really yearning to take this knowledge and this kind of new idea of who you are and what the world is and what it's all about. But you've got this kind of stuck in between, this energy here. And I feel that this is the energy that's holding you back. Let me just get these in the right order. Oops, that way. This is the energy that's holding you back here, I feel, this Emperor energy. And I don't feel that this is your energy, Aries. It could be, but I don't feel it is. I feel that that's somebody else's energy that is very strong, very strong-willed, very strong-minded, very controlling, very... I've told you this is how it is and this is how it's going to be. That kind of energy is what I'm feeling from that today. So this is you wanting to take this new leap forward. And the fact that they've come out together as well, I find that really interesting, because this is about you closing out a cycle. But I do feel as though it's reluctant. There's a kind of hesitation, there's a holding back, and again, I feel it's because of this energy. Because I feel this energy is kind of saying, if you do that, then that's it. Kind of thing. Don't expect to come back into the world that I live in, so to speak. I do feel that this is a very stuck energy, is really what I'm getting from this. It's a very stuck energy. Very stuck in the way of seeing everything, the way they behave. doing things the same way over and over and over again. So Aries, I do feel as though it's like it's there waiting for you, this kind of future, this kind of new start for your life here. But you're still kind of worried about letting go of this Emperor situation, shall we say, because they have some hold over you somehow, which is why I feel it's family or generational rather than work related, but it could also be work related. So over the top of the 5 of Fire, we have the 7 of Cups in reverse here. And for me, this 7 of Cups is about, when it's upright, it's about filling up your own cups here. It's about making sure you have what you need and having enough for other people as well. It's like you have plenty and you can also share it. And you've got the Dove of Peace above there as well. So it's like you're very very tranquil, very happy in what you're doing in that sense. But because it came out reverse here, I feel as though you're kind of feeling as though you're feeding everybody else on an emotional level and not getting what you need. That everything is kind of going out everywhere else. It's all kind of spraying out all this emotional energy of yours here, Aries. But you're not getting fed here. You're not the one that's receiving anything. You're giving it all, is kind of how I'm seeing that card today. And that you have been doing that for quite some time, and it has been draining. But at the same time, I also feel that maybe that was kind of, you reached the point of being unable to give any more. And maybe that's what's kind of brought all of this on as well. It's too many, I'm not taking all of you. Maybe that is why that you reached that situation in your life here. We also have the Daughter of Cups who's come out over the top of the Moon. The Daughter of Cups relates to the Page of Cups here. And over the top of the Moon, with the Moon, I was saying how it's like the full moon being very much your emotions were on show. And that you couldn't hide them from yourself. And that's, again, what I'm kind of feeling here and seeing here, you bathing literally kind of in those emotions. You literally kind of, with this waterfall that's falling down, it's kind of covering all of this area. All that green there is water. And that waterfall in the background there as well. So there's a lot of emotion, because you've got the 7 of Cups and you've got the Daughter of Cups as well, or the Page of Cups. So maybe you needed to see things clearly. That's what the Moon is saying to me. It's like seeing things clearly, seeing that you needed to receive, you needed to give to you here. Rather than constantly being the one giving to everybody else. And the 2 of Swords over the top of this 8 of fire. Which I feel was all about your emotions kind of being put out for you to see here. The Two of Swords is saying to me that there was a decision, or you had to make a decision, even though it's in reverse. And there's a sense here of it again, reverse reluctance, but she's kind of creating this figure of 8 here as well, which is again interesting, because I was talking about this 8 and that's over the top of an 8 again. So it was kind of like a karmic or a fated situation in a way, where you kind of had to do this. You no longer could stay in that situation. You had to make a decision. You had to decide what it was that you were going to do in terms of your feeling emotionally. I kind of get the feeling of emotionally like fed on in a way, like emotionally you were always the one that emotionally provided for everybody else, but you couldn't provide emotionally, or nobody else provided emotionally for you. And maybe something happened that has forced a change of that situation. And maybe that's why I was saying, like, all of this here came through today as you being lit up, as seeing all these kind of flaws in your own personality here, Aries. Flaws in the sense of all of that energy over there wasn't doing you any good. It wasn't healthy, it wasn't helping you. And so you finally had to kind of come to this decision about something, even though you didn't particularly want to put yourself in that situation of having to make a choice there. And we have the Ten of Swords over the top of the Strength card as well. And in this particular Ten of Swords, it's like they're all throwing themselves into the ocean here. They're all leaping off this cliff into the water. And they're all kind of throwing their swords up in the air as well. And some of the swords are kind of landing in the cliff at the back, in the cliff. So it's kind of making, it looks to me like a bit like a ladder in a way to climb out from the emotions. Again, the water representing emotional overwhelm maybe. But the 10 for me today, the Ten of Swords is saying it was a situation that was too much. Gone from the 2 here to the 10, so it's kind of almost like you made the decision and then you leapt. Kind of leaving everything else behind at the time that you were doing it. And you leapt into this kind of hangman situation here. Even though it's come out over the top of the Strength card. And kind of in a way saying, you know, do you have the strength to do this? Do you have the strength in order to be able to find your inner strength here, to change this, to move away from this? Because it feels to me as well that there must be, if they're all leaping off the edge of the cliff, there must be something that's kind of behind, coming up behind them, that's maybe driving them off that cliff as well. Something much bigger, much stronger. Again, I get the sense of this energy here. because they've all kind of made that decision together to kind of leap off this cliff. And maybe that's how you're feeling, that you're leaping off the cliff, you're leaving the safety of the familiar, of what you know, what you've grown up with, maybe what's always been a part of your life, but maybe hasn't made you happy. Swords is, again, it's about the mental process, it's about the thinking, it's about how we kind of go over and over and over the same thing time and time and time again. And maybe, you know, now you're kind of seeing that you've done this and you're not getting any different results, that the results that you're getting are exactly the same results that you're always getting. But you have this kind of strength backing you up here in order to be able to take that leap, which kind of reminds me a bit of this Fool card down here as well, as leap of faith into the unknown, trusting. But I feel with the Ten of Swords, it's more a case of like something coming up behind that was kind of forcing that situation to happen. And we have Temperance over the Hangman. Temperance, again, waiting. It's that kind of energy of divine timing, of knowing when's the right time to come down off of this situation of feeling like you're just hanging out there with nothing to support you. Is kind of, again, a energy that I'm feeling here, that you've kind of let go of that support, but there is still this, well, I'd say let go, you're trying to let go maybe of that support, because there is still this attachment here, and it is in reverse, so it is like reluctance, so it is almost like something may have been forced on you here to make that decision. But Temperance over the top of the Hangman is saying to me that it was the right thing for you to do. You are in the right place, you are doing the right things, you are where you're supposed to be at this time, you are balancing your own energies out here. Because this is the medicine man, or medicine woman, should I say. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm seeing, that you are transforming, that it is taking place, but it is a slow process here. It is a slow process, and you are feeling kind of left out. And wondering also, you know, what's going to happen when you do come out of it. Is there going to be balance here? Are things going to, is the world going to kind of turn back up the right way? In that sense, is it going to make sense to you? This Temperance card for me is all about keeping things flowing so that things don't stagnate. So you got the Strength card come out again, Aries. So that's twice you've got the Strength card here. Twice, that's the number 8 there. But in this card, it's actually the number 11. So that's interesting as well. But it's come out over the top of the Messenger of Air here, which is you kind of waking up, but it was reversed. So maybe it's a sense of you realising that that strength, that inner strength, is being used against you. Or realising that you have to let go of all of this, because I see this again, all these different kind of creatures around this person being you in the middle here, this kind of like connecting with all these different animals, but I see these animals as being different aspects of people that you know, that have been in your life, that maybe have these different personality traits, and that's how you kind of see them. You see them as these, or I'm picking it up as different personality traits. The way that people react around you or to you. But I'm also seeing it as being in reverse. I feel as though it's you kind of waking up to this realization that you don't need all of this in order to be strong as well. You don't need other people's strength. You've got your own strength here. A sense of as well that if you have to do it alone, then you will do it alone. And interestingly, the Star card has come out here as well, over the top of the Star card, but it is in reverse. So there's healing, there's definitely healing going on here. There's a definite kind of realization. Again, I feel it with this emerging energy, you kind of submerging yourself into a different world here. Waking up to something completely different to the world that you have known around you. With this new perception, this new way of seeing the world. You kind of seeing through things and seeing possibly, like I was saying, personality traits in the sense of the way that people behave. You're kind of seeing it really clearly. Like, you know, how we can say that somebody's like as wily as a fox, or, you know, slithering like a snake, that kind of thing. It's like you kind of suddenly realise these it's kind of, again, personality traits, but they're very, I feel as though they're very kind of pronounced to you. And seeing things for as they actually are, rather than how you've actually always been led to believe they are. Particularly when it comes to people around you. So the Star card in reverse is saying to me, because you got it twice, Star card twice is really powerful energy. And again, I was saying earlier, you know, that like this enlightening moment, this kind of realising how things actually are and who you are as well. But with it in reverse, it feels as though it's a sense of having to hide it. Like having to hide all that kind of newfound wisdom and knowledge and yeah, inner sense of strength, and having to hide what you can see, having to hide how you hiding what you've learnt, hiding the new kind of sense of your new world. Your new world. It's like you feel as though you can't let people into that domain. And I feel that's because of this energy here. Again, I do feel this as a very strong sense of tradition, and this is how it's done. And we have the Shaman of Wands come out over the top of this as well. So this is a very powerful energy. The Shaman of Wands is the King of Wands, so it's very magnetic energy. It's very charismatic energy. It's an energy of being very sure of themselves, very confident in their own sense of purpose and who they are. Aries, it is fire energy. It could be your energy. It could be you having to actually stand up to this energy here as well. Because the Emperor is also Leo energy. Again, more fire, more, yeah, the sun, fire energy. Somebody who feels that they're always right is what I'm getting here. Always right. But this energy here for me is a mature version of yourself from this place here. This energy here. It's like you've gone through something and you've come out the other side here, Aries, and it's like you've grown into your own energy. You've grown into that fire energy, that dynamic, magnetic, charismatic, really self-confident. And I feel as though it's got a lot to do with this. But you may still be wanting or fear having to kind of confront this energy here, which is why I feel the star energy is in reverse, because you are, whoops, reluctant to express possibly what it is that you now know and perceive and understand. Cards again. Where are they? Sure there was 3. Yep, 3 cards again. 1, 2, 3. Okay. That's interesting. So I'm going to put each one of these with one of these cards here. So the Two of Wands. As I was saying, I feel as though this is that ancestral energy here. It's come out with the 6 of Fire, this sense of feeling deflated, this sense of feeling that you're not getting anywhere, that you're not being heard, you're not being able to express your opinions, your understanding. And with the Two of Wands here, it very much looks to me as though this is ancestral energy. And it is fire energy again as well. And it's like you have this new creative thought, or it's like, for me, the Two of Wands is a sense of coming out of, like after the Ace. The Ace comes in, the energy's there. It's like you either grab it and do something with it, which is the 2, which is the kind of taking it out into the world, making it work for you, kind of building on it, creative thought processes. But there is also something here about you I feel kind of, with it being ancestral, it's almost like you feel as though you owe this. You can't escape it. You have to kind of stay with this. Whatever this is, whatever this is. It feels to me as though you kind of really want to break free from this, because we also have the 2 of Discs here, which for me represents the past and the future. And you're kind of stuck in the middle here, kind of holding the baby, which for me today is representing this energy of this generational something generational, something that you have to take responsibility for here, Aries. Taking responsibility for this ancestral, and that just keeps coming up, this ancestral way of, and it's over the top of the world energy here as well. So this is the kind of, you wanted to close out this cycle, you wanting to move on, find something new that you can begin in your life. Twice, you've got the two twice here. In fact, you've got three of them. The only one that's missing is the earth, no, sorry, the cups here. So you've got the two of swords, the two of wands, and the two of fire energy, and they're all the energy of having to kind of decide something. Are you going to move on with something? Are you going to take this energy that's come in and actually do something about it? But for me, the Two of Discs is always about that balance of the past and the future, wanting to move into the new, but still being caught in the past. And the snake there that's wrapped around those two wheels, which is kind of stopping them from turning as well, and kind of keeping that energy in place for me today. Two-headed snake as well. I feel it again, it is this energy of you kind of, in a way, caught up in this, caught up in it and not being able to move beyond it. Wanting to. But the Fool energy also has the Three of Swords here as well. And if you look at this Three of Swords energy, it's like somebody literally has a sword at her throat there. And this daisy chain down here is reminding me of this snake down here as well. Like the snake in the grass, maybe a sense of kind of promising something that's not what it is, or what it appears to be. But with this sword pointing very much at her throat here, I really see this as being unable to communicate. It's like a threat. It's like a definite threat in this card of kind of, you know, you have to keep quiet, you have to not say what it is. You can't express how you feel here, Aries. And again, it's come out over the top of this new beginning, wanting this new beginning, wanting to leave this energy behind. This energy of keeping you in place, keeping you by using, it's like using your strength somehow against you. Three Swords, communication. It's like not being able to express yourself, not being able to, and if you do, I feel it's like this is what happens if you do try to express this energy here, if you do try to kind of say, look, you know, this is my truth, this is who I am, then, because I feel that that's what this Hangman here energy is. It's about finding that truth of your inner being, shall we say. And this is kind of saying, like, you know, over the top of the Fool card with this I just feel that it's an energy where you really want to kind of, almost like you want to bring them into your world as well. You want to bring this world into this new idea, this new way of seeing things, this new world, this new beginning for you, this new understanding, but it just keeps getting stopped. It's just like cut off is what I'm feeling. And you're kind of, I feel, you know, two minds here. Two minds as to what's happening and why it's happening. So I'm just going to pull. So we've got the Four of Cups, which has come out in reverse, and the Four of Cups is a sense of feeling like everything is too much. It's like feeling as though it's just overwhelming emotion, particularly when it's upside down as well. If it's up the right way, it's kind of trying to climb through. I see it as trying to get through this kind of beach or this sandy bank, this water here, and just keep ending up kind of dragged back into that same place, like not making any headway here. Trying to climb up a river that's flowing in the opposite direction. So you're kind of feeling as though you're taking a few steps, but you're not getting anywhere. Almost like a bit of a desperation energy as well. Because it's also come out with the Shaman of Cups here as well, the King of Cups. And he is all about emotions. He's all about a wounded healer. He's all about healing other people's problems and being great at understanding other people's emotional problems, but not being very good at being able to heal their own problems, the Shaman of Cups. It's also saying, you know, that there's love there as well, because it's the flow of the dipping that kind of jug into the water there as well. He's kind of saying that there is love, but it's kind of, how can I put this? Either very limited, or it's kind of very what am I getting here? It's either limited or it's only given kind of like in a reward way, like, you know, if you deserve it then you can have it, if you don't deserve it then you can't have it, kind of fashion here. Because there is a mask, he is wearing a mask as well. So he's not showing his true emotions, he's not showing how he really feels about situations here. Again, I don't feel as though this is your energy, Aries. I feel as though this is an energy that's kind of I feel as though it's an energy that's being used powerfully against you. Is what I'm feeling. Like a sense of in a way, possibly even blackmail as well. Like blackmail of emotions, like blackmailing you emotionally. Which is not a good place to be in, Aries. It's not a nice place to find yourself in a situation where you're feeling, though, that maybe you're putting in all the love and you're not getting it in return, which is going back to that Five of Fire and the Seven of Cups up there, which I was talking about earlier, of you pouring everything out for everybody else, but not receiving it back here. So let's see what Abraham Hicks would like to say about this, and the advice from Abraham and Jerry and Esther Hicks. If you've not heard of Abraham Hicks, there's plenty of information out there. These are the Ask and It Is Given cards. And it's about our emotional vibration as to how we, what we put out there is what we bring back to ourselves. So you have got the I am becoming consciously aware of my inner being card. And I think that's true, Aries. I think you are becoming consciously aware of that. And I think that's maybe also what this is about here, this healing, this understanding process, and also this hangman energy as well. So what it says, the message is, we refer to that non-physical you as your inner being or your source. It is not important what you call that source of energy or life force, but it is important that you're consciously aware of when you are allowing a full connection to it and when you are restricting it in some way. Which is interesting because I feel as though it's kind of, there's another one that's come out for you as well. I didn't see that. I'm going to read this one as well. Why are they not getting what they are asking for? So if people are not receiving what they are asking for, it can only be that the persons holding the desire are out of alignment with their own requests. There is no shortage, there is no lack. There is no competition for resources. There is only the allowing or the disallowing of that which one is asking for. And that's what I feel this is about as well, this energy here, this kind of, it's a deflating energy which isn't allowing you to get into alignment here with your world and actually bring this new beginning in here as well, and trusting that sense of your inner knowing of where you should be and where you should be going. But I do feel it is because there is this stronger energy here that keeps pulling you back because of your emotional connection to this. And because of that emotional connection, it's not, it's keeping you in a certain way of thinking, a certain way of being. And every time you kind of break free from it, it kind of drags you back into that place. So it is there, this new beginning is there, but I do feel as though you are going to have to kind of emotionally come to terms with having to leave something else in order to be able to get to it, Aries. So I'm going to leave your reading there and say I really do hope that it has been of some help to you somehow today. And thank you very much for coming over and watching my videos. Please, could you like it up for me? Thumbs it. The more thumbs they get, the more it gets put out into the kind of bigger YouTube world. And the algorithms then pick it up and they can take it further out. And there is more chance then for more people to see it, who can then come back to my channel and take a look at my videos and read or see my messages, hear my messages, and maybe even subscribe. Thank you very much to those of you who have subscribed. I really, really do appreciate the fact that you're helping me to grow my channel. It's a really big help to me at this time as well. I'm kind of still, I think, 2 away from the actual 100 mark, but it's getting there slowly. So if anybody out there feels like thumbsing up my videos or subscribing to me, I really would appreciate it. Again, that's kind of all I can say at this time. just want to get to that 100 mark. So also tap the bells, because I will be putting out videos as and when. Or there is also a subscribe button on my videos now, so you can subscribe through just tapping that button, and it will subscribe you, and it will ask you, I believe, whether or not you want to receive these videos. And if you tap the bell, it will let you know as and when I'm putting videos out. I do all the zodiac signs, I do all the new moons, full moons, and any changes of the actual astrological energy as well, although I haven't done the Uranus one, which I keep meaning to do, but I'm kind of trying to catch up with everything else at this time. So I'm just going to say again, thank you very much for watching. I really do hope it has been of some help to you, Aries, and please comment and share my videos if you feel that they're going to benefit anybody else that you know out there. And take really good care of yourselves, Aries, at this time, and please take care of anybody else who you can. Hopefully see you soon.